So you must understand that you're chosen. If you're going through a lot of heartache, you're going through a lot of things that just don't make sense, like life hasn't been fair to you in your estimation. If you look at your left and you look at your right and things just don't match up to the level of, hate or trauma or whatever it is that you're going through, understand that there's something special about you. Understand that there's something that ultimately something or somebody doesn't want to see manifested. When you're gifted, it rubs people the wrong way. When you can do more than the other person, you outshine them, so they don't want anybody to see that. When you're talented, they don't want anybody to see. When they ask about, hey, who can do this, the person knows that, hey, if I said this person is likely to be able to do that, that person might get the recognition, and that means I don't get the recognition. See, this whole world that we live in is all about light. That's the first thing that God created. He created light. And in the light, he put it in each and every one of us. But the crazy thing about light is some people's light shine better than others. But you also have to understand that there's a time and a season for everything. So even if your light is not shining right now, maybe God has not ordained it for your light to shine right now. And you need to be patient to let him manifest his way in your life. There's a picture of Michael Phelps swimming for the gold. And he's, inches away from touching the buzzer. And his competitor is out of the water looking at what Michael Phelps is doing. But Michael Phelps is tunnel vision. So often in life, you are tunnel vision trying to do something, and there's all this opposition that are pulling you away, pulling you back, trying to keep you from accomplishing what it is that you were meant to accomplish. You can't look at that. Somebody that's evil in your life can only do evil things. So that's why it's incredibly important to filter out who it is that you have in your life. It doesn't matter what you did in the past. It doesn't matter what they mean to you. None of that shit matters. It really doesn't. Some associations may be difficult to get rid of than others, but you have to manage them in such a way that if somebody doesn't deserve to be in your life, then, make those adjustments. I was reading something about the Buddha, and the Buddha said life is going to be hard. Life is suffering. To live is to suffer. So if you have any preconceived notions that life is going to be this, bubble gum ride and everything is going to be sweet, it may be, but more than likely you're not trying to achieve your higher self, because to achieve that level, you will receive a whole bunch of resistance. And the resistance could even come from you. You could be your own worst enemy. A lot of times when I'm trying to move forward in life and I'm trying to do things, I'm the own impediment in my way. I'm trying to lose weight, and I do good, go to the gym, eat right for 1 or 2 days, and I start feeling myself. The next thing you know, I'm chopping down some things that I shouldn't be eating. I'm drinking some things that I shouldn't be drinking. So this whole thing is about it's about life is going to be a struggle. It's going to be a fight. It's going to be contentious. And understand that when these moments come up, when you are in the mud, when you can't make sense of what is going on, this is when you must try to release and rely on God. You must rely on God. You must rely on something that's higher than yourself. You must rely on a strength that allows you to plow through, to cut through. You must get strength from somewhere. You know, we are not just flesh and blood. More so, we are spirit. In Genesis 1 verse 1, it says that, the earth was formless, it was dark, and the Spirit of God was over the earth, loomed over the earth, right? And then later on in Genesis, we see that when God is creating man, he says, let us create man in our own image. So if he's creating us in our own image, then you have to understand that the first thing that he's going to create is the spirit before he formed us out of clay. But all too often, we neglect the fact that we're a spirit. We go ahead and feed our body and never feed our spirit. There are some things that are told to you in the spirit and you neglect it. Some call it intuition, some call it a gut feeling, whatever it is. I've had these feelings and I've neglected them. I've had these hearings and I've neglected them. I've had, things come to me in my dreams and talk to me in my spirit. Know things that I shouldn't know, but it came to me so vividly. That's my spirit. That's a spirit talking to me. There are things that come, messages that come to you in your spirit. And they're here to guide you. They're here to keep you on the straight and narrow. And I'm telling you, other people will be tempted more than others because it's not everybody that's awoke. It's not everybody that is on their deen. It's not everybody that's on their purpose. But if you have a great thing to accomplish in life, I am telling you that you will receive an amazing amount of pressure, an amazing amount of quote unquote hate or whatever it is, negative energy from yourself, from people you know, from loved ones, from family members. I mean, read the Bible, listen to the stories of the old folks or people around you. Another thing you must really, really be careful of is what you listen to and what you see and what you hear. Because all these things are drums that either elevate you or bring you down. So you must constantly have faith in yourself. You must constantly believe in yourself. Because once you start to leave belief in yourself, then you're starting to lose belief in God. And that's like the worst thing that could happen, because God doesn't need much for him to allow incredible things to happen in your life. He doesn't need, everything to be perfect. He just needs that, you keep your eyes focused on him, or, focused on him. He might allow the devil to prevail all your life and in one instant, change it all around. There are people that have gone from millionaire, from homeless to millionaire. You know, there are people that have gone from almost dead to now they have a wife and kids. You know, there are people that have gone from depression to being happy. But if you focus too much on what the problem at hand is, it doesn't give you the chance to let God do his work. People think in the now, especially in today's culture where everything is now, 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 now. You order something from Amazon and it's in your house within hours, right? We all focus on the now, but God's timeline is not that way. It takes time for himself to be manifested. And this is his way of testing you, because if he gives the thing that you want so quickly, then it doesn't allow him to fully test and grow you to who he wants you to be. Ultimately, we are a vessel, right? And a vessel doesn't just mean that for you're a vessel that he pours himself into, but ultimately a vessel is something that's to be put to use, right? So whatever it is whatever your vessel is, whatever your form and function is. Some people dance, some people sing, some people are meant to speak the word. Some people, are meant to show a different path. Whatever it is that you are in your vessel, you need to understand that in order for God to use you as a vessel, he must first burnish you. He must put you through the flame so that it gives you strength. So that when you're doing what you're doing, you have absolute confidence that there's nothing that I cannot go through. And God is funny in that way. He would take the weakest amongst us and elevate him. The same thing like with David and the Bible. David was the least of his father's children. He was the youngest, the most unaccomplished. Yet he was the one that God used to kill the Goliath. He was the one that God ultimately anointed and made king. He was the one that God said like, David is a man after my heart, because he put him through all these tests, all these bad times, and David never stopped seeking the Lord. He never stops, thanking God in good times and in bad times. He never strayed away from what he knew to be his truth. And for me, as I'm going through life, I'm realizing that I'm going to go through these things not because of any other reason, but I have to. It's a passage, right? Let people do what they'll do, but you have to stay strong in order not to allow those things to affect your life in such a way that you do something that doesn't make sense. Let people do what they will do. I'm telling you, if you let people do what they'll do, they'll end up destroying themselves. Most people are unhappy. You understand? Most people are unhappy. So if you are a vibrant soul, if you are one of those people who is always, optimistic and upbeat, and you don't look at the pessimistic part of life. You don't look at your current situation and think, I can't think my way through this, or I can't find a way to better myself, or whatever it is. If you're one of those people, you stand in stark contrast with the crowd. And anything that's in contrast with the crowd stands out. If you stand out, you're going to get the most attention. And attention can either be positive or attention can be negative. But in this environment that we live in this world that we live in, most times when you stand out, you're going to get negative attention. It's the truth. So you must stay strong. You must stay vigilant. You must stay diligent. You must stay, stay on your team. There's something that God wants to do with you. That's why these things are happening. But just have faith and don't lose hope at any point. I know it's hard to do, but don't lose hope. Don't lose hope. Don't lose hope. Do not lose hope. Keep the faith. Don't entertain thoughts of suicide. Don't entertain thoughts of negativity. Don't be around, negative people. Learn to be with yourself. Learn to calm your mind down. Learn to let your spirit vibrate at a level where your spirit talks to you. Learn not to depend on other people. Learn to depend on yourself. The person who learns to depend on themselves, that they can fish for themselves, they can cook for themselves, they can do for self, these people don't need anybody. And that's a very powerful position to be in. If I don't need anybody, I can fend for myself. And if I can fend for myself, that means I can fend for other people. So you need to try to, like in the airplane, when this is the thing comes down, you need to make sure that you put it on for yourself first. Yes, you need to put a lot of energy in trying to better yourself and bring yourself to a good, neutral or higher state. You can do this through through meditation. You could do it through exercise. You could do it through, eating right. It's incredibly difficult, but day to day, if you keep doing these things, the effort will compound, right? It will compound, and over time, with this action, it yields incredible results. So just stay strong, man.